Walk It Like I Talk It, and today we have yet another beautiful and talented young lady. She's an expert in brand and communication strategy, marketing, tech sales rep, and PR. Please let's welcome to the show, Praise Adio.
Hi.
Yeah, don't worry, we have our fake audience. Yeah, hi Praise, how are you doing?
I'm fine. How are you?
I'm good. Welcome to the show. So to get started, we're just going to dive right in, right? So to get started, what we do for all our guests, right? We tell them to introduce themselves.
Okay.
So let's hear from the horse's mouth. So please, who are you?
My name is Praise Adio. I don't usually know what to say when they ask me to introduce myself, but my name is Praise Adio. I'm a Christian.
Okay.
I'm a content creator, lifestyle content creator, and everything communications. Yes, that's what I do. That's who I am altogether.
Oh, that's good. That's good. For those, would you like to explain what that is? Lifestyle content creator. For those who don't know.
My life. My life. Like I make content about my life.
Okay.
I know it's not the usual lifestyle content creation, like content creator people think, but like I make content about my life. So yeah, lifestyle content.
So let's get started from there, right? You make content about your life.
Yep.
Aren't you a bit concerned having people know what's going on with you?
You know what I want you to know? That's the thing.
That's smart.
There's some days that I think that I'm oversharing, but I just don't overthink. I just don't overthink it.
Yeah.
But at the same time, people feel like you might feel like you know so much about me, but you know what I want you to know.
At the end of the day.
Yeah, there's still so much to me that people don't know.
True.
Yes.
True. Would you share some of those things that people?
Of course not. Of course not. I mean, it's not like I'm keeping a secret or anything. There are just some things that I've decided to keep away from people.
From people, yeah.
Yeah, but the things I decide to share, you know, the things I don't share. But there are days that I feel like I'm oversharing.
Okay, so that means everything you, at the moment, we can say that everything you put out there, you're pretty comfortable with people knowing that about you.
Yes.
Have you had instances where people come up to you or have you heard, people say, "Oh, Praise, she's like this, she's like that," and that's solely just based off on what you've shared with them?
Yes, people think I'm blunt. Like people like I've seen people and they're like, "Oh, that's the Praise on Instagram. She's really blunt. She's really like straight." I don't know if blunt is a way I would describe myself, but based on my content, people think I'm blunt because I mean it's 30 seconds video. How else do you want me to pass the message?
You have to be clear and concise.
I have to be like exactly. But yeah, people think I'm blunt just based on my content. I don't mind it actually.
So how long have you been creating content for?
I started properly 2020. I started making videos properly 2020.
Yeah, I think everybody started in 2020.
Yeah, I mean...
We're all bored.
Yeah, 2020. But I've been writing on Facebook since like 2015. So I started writing before I started making videos.
Oh, good. What kind of writing? Lifestyle still?
Yeah. Like, so the things that I say, I put them to writing.
Oh, okay.
So I would write them. But I started making videos because I wanted people... So I like when people read the way I talk. So if I write something, I like you to read it the way I would say it, and that's how I write. So I figured that people were reading my stuff more, but they've never heard me talk. So I started making videos so that, because I just said that let me make video for a while, then I'll go back to writing so that people can know how I talk. But here we are.
Oh, that's good. That's good. That just means it's like when you're reading a text from your friend.
Yeah.
And you're reading it in their voice. Yeah, it just makes it more fun.
Yeah, that was what I was trying to do.
Yeah, that's good.
Yeah.
That's actually very good. So you started in 2020. Of course, clearly you were bored, COVID. Well, more or less.
I mean, we were free. Yeah, I was free. I didn't have anything else.
Could you share your journey from how you started writing, what motivated you to start writing, down to creating video content, down to the social media celebrity that you are now? I mean, you have 20K followers. That's celebrity status already.
It's something. So how did I start? There wasn't any motivation, and that's how I am. Like when people ask me what's the motivation, I didn't have any motivation. I just had the urge. I just had things in my head that I needed to say, and I just said them. And I'm not a shy person. I'm hardly shy. So I just I felt like I have something to say. Let me share it with people, and I just did. I didn't. It wasn't like I had any motivation or anything. So yeah, 2015, I started writing on Facebook and all of that stuff. Then
That's
2020,
cool. Sorry to cut you short, but that's cool. You know, while we're doing this on
yeah.
Facebook.
I've always been a serious person.
Oh, okay.
Probably because I like when I was growing up, as at that 2015, I was in Polytechnic of Ibadan. I was the youngest in my department. So like I was surrounded by a lot of, older guys all my life. So it was so easy for me to just, I don't know how to sort of explain it, but
Yeah,
yeah.
I get you.
Yeah. So after the writing phase, like I said, I wanted people to read my things. That there was a time I started in my feelings Friday.
Okay.
Then I decided that I wanted people to read my voice. Then that was when I started making videos. Pretty much, and we're here now. No motivation, nothing. I just felt like I had something to say, and I said them.
So how did you start? What equipment did you go all out getting equipment, or you just used your phone?
Yeah, I was using Techno Pop something that time. I can't remember what. Yeah, I was. If you check my first video on Instagram, you see I was using a Techno. I was using an Android, so I didn't use any equipment. I didn't have any backdrop or any lights like I do now. I just used my dad's car.
Okay.
Yeah, I was just in my dad's car. I shot the video, and then I changed it to black and white because the quality wasn't really great.
And everything is better in black and white. Yeah.
Yeah,
I do that a lot. When I feel like a picture is not actually looking too
just
well,
black and white it.
I add black and white.
Yeah, so I just added black and white, and yeah, that was it. No equipment, nothing fancy.
Yeah. So you mentioned you're using your dad's car. So I want
Yeah.
to assume that they were quite supportive. Your parents generally were quite
Yes,
supportive
my
of.
dad is my OG. Like, there's nothing, and that's how he is to all of his children. There's nothing you want to tell him, like, or there's nothing you tell him that you want to do. He will support you. Though he's going to tell you, oh, I think you should, because I wanted to study law.
Okay.
But my dad told me that he has seen that I don't like to read that much, so he doesn't. He's not going to. He wouldn't
Advise
advise
you to
me to
study law.
study law. That I should do mass communication. So for someone that's advising me to do mass communication, and then he sees me talking, I mean, they were pretty supportive. They are still supportive. Yeah.
I also wanted to study law at some point. No, I think I've wanted to be everything. As in, there's literally nothing I've not tried to be. Right. At some point, I wanted to. Of course, we all had that dream. Want to be an
Yeah.
astronaut. At some point, I wanted to be a pastor.
Okay.
Um,
You're still getting there.
so at different points in time, I've just had different. There was a time I wanted to be a rapper.
Okay.
In Bowen, I almost took that career seriously.
Seriously.
You know, but back to I also wanted to study law at some point, but I'm the kind of person who, when I read, I can't give it back to you verbatim.
Oh.
I paraphrase literally every
Yeah.
single thing. Like, even you can tell me something now, no matter how short it is, and ask me in a week's time, I can't tell you
Tell you the
this
way-
is
yeah.
how this person said it. It's
Yeah.
always paraphrased.
Yeah.
And I think for that reason, I was like, okay, no. And then I already shot myself in the foot when I went to science class. So
Right.
studying law was
Was it?
a no already. Right, but now you've mentioned you study mass communication.
Yep.
Right, so let's go into, the topic for this podcast is skills versus grade.
Yeah.
Right, and it stems from your post that you made recently where you said you graduated with a 2-2 from Bowen University and you've never had to use your degree to get a job or anything, and you've had quite an amazing career so far, and it's still growing.
Yep.
Right. So I want to understand what that like. I want you to share your Bowen experience. Really, what you think led you to finishing with a 2-2. What you think you could have done better. What were your parents' reaction? Because I want to think, somehow, like me personally, yeah. I had the belief that with the amount of money my boss they pay for this school,
Yeah.
I can't just
You can't just mess it up.
I can't mess it up.
Yeah.
I can't mess it up. So I want to understand how was that for you?
So let me start from my parents.
Okay.
Like I said, my dad is pretty supportive. If you tell him that I failed, he'll just say, "Why did you fail? Did you not understand? Did the lecturer not teach you well?" Like, that's just what he's going to say.
Yeah.
He's going to be like, oh, summer, all right. Or I tell him that no, I don't have to go to summer. I'll just do it, the second. So he will never shout or is never dramatic about it. He'll just tell you, oh, why did you fail this and that. Now for my journey in Bowen University, I didn't 100 level because I was okay. Now the thing is that I was coming from Polytechnic of Ibadan.
Okay.
Let's just have that as a backstory. And in Poly, if you've gone to federal universities or Polytechnic, you understand how it works. You can literally pay a lecturer and you'll be fine. If a lecturer likes
you might want to confirm that you've never paid any lecturer.
No, I didn't pay any lecturer, but they liked me because I was the youngest person in the department, like I said. So they're always like looking out for me. So even if I don't do well, they are still looking out for me. They'll still call me. I'm always in their offices and all of that stuff. So that was the mindset I was coming to Bowen University with. I was coming to Bowen University like, oh, no, we'll run it. Like, we'll be fine.
Yeah.
I didn't know that. So 100 level, I think I failed 3 courses. So you know that's the foundation, and I sort of already messed it up. I will hardly go to class. I will sleep. I won't do my assignment. My friend Fikayo, she was the one that she'll do her assignments.
Yeah.
Then she'll paraphrase her assignments and submit that one for me.
Okay.
So that was how I didn't do my assignment. I didn't do anything.
Thumbs up, Fikayo.
Yeah, shout out to Fikayo. So that was how it was. Then after I failed in 100 level,
yeah,
I'm going to take it level by level so that
okay.
So after 100 level, I sort of got myself together. 100 level second semester, 200 level. The courses we did, they were pretty hard. 200 level was my hardest time in Go University. They were pretty hard, and I didn't.
300.
300.
I think 300.
300 level was soft for me.
I know 300 was even.
300 level was soft for me because that was when I now pivoted into PR.
Okay.
Yeah, into marketing communications. But when we were still doing the general courses, it was too crazy. I was still having Mr. Faye at that time. If you
we all know the story of
exactly.
Faye, yeah.
So yeah, that was 200 level. I failed all my 3 uni courses. I failed everything. And I think there were 3 or 4 something I failed. So you know that I've already messed it all up.
I remember in my 200 level, I had about 5 3 uni courses, and I had B in all of them. I call that my beautiful result.
That's still good. I failed everything. It was F for me. So by 300 level, I don't know what happened in my 300 level. I felt like God was ready for me, or God was like, okay, now let me just help this girl. I feel like that was time God just decided to help me out of my situation. So 300 level, we did marketing. I went into marketing communications. Beautiful lecturers. Oh, my lecturers, the best. So I found it very interesting that then 300 level I started sitting in front of the class. No, 200 level I started sitting in front of the class, but I didn't find the courses interesting, so I wasn't really interested. But in 300 level, the courses were very interesting. We're talking PR, marketing, advertisement. It was so nice. I really enjoyed it so much. So I would even ask questions in class. I was one of the active people in class at 300 level, so it was pretty fun for me. So I started my my GPA started making sense by 300 level. I'll get 4 points something in my GPA for the semester, and as at 400 level, I already I was good. That's my Bowen journey. I feel like that's my Bowen journey. Just let me leave it there. That's my Bowen journey. But mass communication that's the best decision I've made in my life. Studying mass communication and majoring in integrated marketing communications, the best decision I've made in my life.
So I like that you just said that, right? Because it kind of, from what you've described, right, from your 300 level and your final year, it seems like you had you learned a lot of transferable skills from class, which is typically not the case, because most people say, oh, class just gives you head knowledge, it doesn't give you the actual.
And I have to give it to my lecturers, because now the reason I have those skills because my lecturers, some of my lecturers, they've had the experience. So they're not teaching us from the textbook. They're teaching us from what they've done in the marketing industry, from the PR industry. So that's why, so some of the time when we're having PR classes, Mr. Tommy would give us real life situation to say that there was a time that he explained how to do budgeting. So if you're running a campaign, this is how you budget, this is the commission that you take as an agency, and this is what you hear. So we did those classes based on their own experience. So when I'm facing or when I'm running a campaign or a project now, I always remember that, oh, this is what Mr. Tommy talked about, this is what this person talked about. So yeah, I have to really thank them for that.
That's very good because not a lot of people admit or would accept that they actually learned something
Yeah.
in school that they're using.
Yeah, I
You know,
did.
you see people say, "I still define X till today."
Yeah. Yeah,
You know,
I did. I did.
but not a lot of people actually affirm that, oh, there were certain skills that they learned in school.
Yeah. The situation is different for me, and that's why, that's why I always tell people that you have to.
Oh, continue.
Okay, that's why I always tell people that even when by the time you notice that the things that you're doing in school is not working out for you, take internship very seriously. So
Okay.
yeah, internship, take it
So
very
where did you
seriously.
intern? I think you interned. Sorry, I think Masscom you had two internships in
Yes,
200
yes,
level
yes,
and in 300 level.
yes.
Yeah. So where did you intern?
I interned in a radio station for my 200 level, and yeah, we did one internship after 200 level and then one after 300 level. So radio station first.
What radio station was
Then
that? Do you want
it
to call
was
it?
King FM
Okay.
in Ibadan. Yeah. So though we didn't really go to the studio or anything, no. Those guys made me write news. You write news and write news. No studio,
You didn't buy a
nothing.
mala now.
Yeah, I didn't really do any of those stuff. I didn't really do any of those stuff. Then I also interned in a branding organization, but it was more of personal branding. It
Okay.
wasn't like branding for organization, personal branding. So yeah, those were the two places that I interned while I was in school.
Oh, and what did you learn from those internships?
Ah, it's just so I learned some of the things that I'm using, especially for the branding for the
Yeah.
branding organization. I learned like how to structure your campaign, how to structure your presentations, your proposals, and all of those stuff, pitching, and all of those good stuff. Those are the things that I learned. But majorly, I would say that I learned company politics, but that's another topic. That's
Yeah.
another topic. That's another topic. Yeah, those are the things that I learned.
All right. So you've walked us through school,
Yeah.
all right? How things went for school, your
Yeah.
internships, and the culmination of all these things kind of make who you are today,
Yes.
right? And so post graduation, right? What were the skills that you had to learn? Probably newer skills. Of course, you had to improve on all those other skills. But what were the
Yes.
newer skills that you had to learn? Did you have to get more certificates to maybe boost your academic
Yeah.
grade? What did you do after school?
So after school, you want to be. I think most of the skills that I had to like learn after school, it's soft skills. You have to be like the way you talk, corporate language or corporate languages, the way you. Those are the things that I learned after school. Though I still take courses on
Yeah.
LinkedIn and all of those stuff, but it's just to like make sure that
Up to date.
I'm up to date. But like you just have to make sure that now after school, the things that you're learning is just to make sure that you're more confident. You're no longer an intern, you're no longer in school, so people will not make excuses for you. Now you have a proper job and you have to deliver. So those are the things that those are the things that after school that I sort of had to because if you're when you're an intern or if you're in school, your guy will take the blame for whatever it
True.
is that you did not do or
True.
but now they will mention your name in the meeting that praise, why didn't you do this, why didn't you do that? So you have to deliver after. That's something I had to learn, that you have to deliver. You now this is a proper job and you have to do it. Yeah.
And coming out of school,
Yeah.
did you feel like, oh, it was going to be hard, considering where you finished, how you finished?
No, I didn't think it was going to. I didn't think it was considering how I finished. I didn't think it was going to be hard because I had people that had spoken to me. So after when I was still in school, I'll be scared and I'll be like, oh my god, I am finishing with a 2-2. I don't know how to do. Did you know that I actually told someone, Victor Gusheson, I don't know if you know him. I told someone it was the best graduating student for his set, mass communication.
Oh yeah.
2020.
No, I don't.
Yeah, it was the first class student. It was my friend. He is my friend. So I told him that time that I didn't know what I want to leave Bow University and go and start again in another university so that I'll be able to now like pack my CGP and make it better. It was like I was already in 300 level that time. So like he had spoken to me and my lecturer, Dr. Efe Christie. I would talk to people. And
Yeah.
that's how, and Itunu, you know Itunu?
Yeah, I need to. Like my
It's
guy.
the mind guy. So like that, I remember Itunu sending me a very long voice note, it like a lot of voice note telling me about my mind and how I can make my life better if I just just work my mind.
Yeah.
So those are the things. These people that I spoke with, these are the people that just helped me to see that they helped me see beyond my environment. They helped me see beyond my CGPA, beyond my results. So I stopped from 300 level. I stopped focusing on my CGP or my results and started like working on
On your
myself,
skills.
on my
Yeah.
skills and making sure that if you see me, you will not if you hear me talk, you will not assume that I finished the 2-2. In fact, most people think I finished the first class or at least 2-1. So I started working on those. So it wasn't hard for me because I'd equipped myself to just make sure that I'm strong like that.
So that means you were already mentally prepared,
I
and you just knew that
was.
look, no
I
matter what or
was.
more,
I was.
we'll
My
do
first
good.
interview, you would think my first interview, I was the youngest. The other guys, they were like big guys with their cars and like that they're coming from work to do this interview. But
Yeah.
I went to the toilet, I cried. Then I packed like
Yeah.
I freshened up and went out again. During the interview, I spoke like I had a lot of experience and so I was mentally prepared. I was ready. But when I started the job, it was hard though.
No,
But I was
definitely
ready.
you were
It was
ready.
hard. It was hard.
But that's good. That just shows the importance of skill over grade.
Yes.
Ultimately.
Yes.
Ultimately.
Yes.
But I'm thinking, I've had jobs where your grade is probably more important than your skill.
If we still have something like that, then the organization they need to.
No, I mean, but there are organizations that hire exclusively
The
for
reason, yeah,
from certain universities first,
yeah, oh
and then
yeah.
certain grades.
Yeah, I think the reason organizations do that, it's not necessarily because, oh, we don't want someone from, it's just to streamline. For an organization, for FMCG industry now, if you want to apply to KPMG, you know how many people want to go to KPMG. You
True.
know how many people want to go to Microsoft. So they have to say that to be able to streamline the number of applicants that we have, you have to be first class. You have to have, have this experience. You have to have done your masters or something like that.
Yeah.
So I think it's just a way for them to streamline. I'm not hating. I'm not hating. I'll still apply.
True.
I will still apply. Whether I pick me or not, I'll still apply. I'll still do the test. I'll still do probably the interview or anything. But I understand organizations that still do that.
Yeah.
Because imagine if you're the HR person and 1,000 applicants, how do you want to do it? So you have to like just say that it has to be first class, you have to go to this university, you have to, yeah.
Like someone said that I can't remember where I heard this from. I think it was a video or someone told me face to face.
Yeah.
He said your grade, right, is the only thing an employer, your grade tells an employer is for 4 or 5 years you were attending a particular place, showing up to class every
Pastor
day.
Iren.
Was it Pastor Aaron?
Yes.
Yeah, but you were going to class every day, 9 to 5.
Discipline.
You were,
It just
and
shows.
you were reading. You wrote the exams. You
Yeah.
passed. But aside that, that's the only thing it shows, and it tells,
Yeah.
oh, as an organization, I know that this person can stay here for 4
Dedicated,
years,
yes.
come here 9 to 5. Even though
Yeah.
it can't be me,
Yeah.
I wouldn't. I don't think I can do 9 to 5.
You're lucky. Or
Yeah. So that's good. That means for people who are struggling with their grades now,
yeah.
your message to them is work on your mind, work on your
Yes,
skills.
yes. Just work on your mind. Make sure, forget the fact that for me now, I have the mindset that I finished the first class because my last three GPAs, they were 4 point something. So in my mind, like, there's nothing you can tell me. I finished the first class. So you have to work on your mind and just like dead the fact that your results is shitty. Just don't think about it. Yeah, focus on if you know that you're going into marketing, what are the things that that marketing people do in the industry? Those are the things that you should learn. If you want to be a tech bro, What are the things that tech bros, I mean, the successful people in your industry, what are the things that they do? What are the skills that they have? Those are the things that you should focus on.
Yeah.
If you do that, you're good.
That's solid. What
Yeah.
about mentors? Do you have mentors? Do you
Ah,
have
I
okay,
do,
seems
I
like you
do,
have a lot.
I do. I don't have a lot actually. I think I have like 5. I don't even think they're up to 5, but I have people that I know that I can talk to.
Yeah.
So for content creation, I have my people that I know that I can talk to. They've been there before me, and if I send them a message, they'll answer me, they'll answer my questions and stuff like that. I have people in the industry now, like my job,
Yeah.
marketing communications. I have people that I talk to that, so yeah, mentors, I have them. Very important. Very, very important.
How has being in your job opened you up to people? So this is like how network, your personal network now of friends and
Yeah.
relationship. How has your job opened you up to those
So the kind of job I do,
yeah.
you have to, if your client says that they need someone important or someone, you have to find a way to talk to that person. So my I've been able to meet quite a number of people, and I'm just starting my career, and I know that by the time I spend 5 years, 10 years, I would have had like a whole network of quality people. Yeah.
All right, that's good. That's actually
Yep.
really good. What about role models? Now these are people that you don't have
Yeah.
access to, but
Yeah.
that you look up to them generally.
I So the thing with me is that most of the people that I talk to, most of the people
Yeah,
that I have access to them, I don't look far ahead. That's me now. If you ask me what I want to do next year, I don't know it. If you ask me what I want to do December, I don't know it. So I look at people that are few steps ahead of me.
yeah,
So if I have, for example, I have 3 years of experience in my industry, I look at people who have 5 years of experience, people who have 7, 10 years of experience. So I don't look too far. So role models, I have people that I look at and I'm like, oh, cool. Like the mentors of my own mentors.
yeah.
I have them, I look at them and I'm like, oh, you're doing great. I love you, cute. But I don't know if I have role models like that. If I don't have access to you, I just give you thumbs up from,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah, just let me leave it like that.
But what do you experience pressure? I mean, as young people, I think there's a lot of pressure to be successful at a certain age, especially
Yeah.
in this day and age. So does that pressure come to you at any point in time where you're like,
But it's, for me, it's rare because I'm a very grateful person and I'm a very introspective,
retrospective person?
yeah, person. So I look at my age and I'm like, Praise, you're doing well.
Yeah.
So I'm a very grateful person. I feel like if you're grateful, you won't be pressured. I look at where I am, where I was last year, and where I
Gratitude is
am.
the right attitude.
Exactly. So I look at myself yesterday and today, and I see growth, and I'm like, you know what, you're doing good.
Yeah.
So anytime I'm pressured to be pressured, I don't brood on it. And also I don't have people that pressure me in my environment. And that's because even on Instagram,
Yeah.
I don't, if you pressure me, I wouldn't follow you. I wouldn't look at your content. So I've been able to guard
Yourself.
myself, that I don't see pressure. I don't see, so if I'm following you and you're doing super great than I'm doing, I like it. I am grateful for you. And yeah, that's another way that I don't get pressured. If you're doing better than I am, I'm super grateful to God for you. Like, I'm telling God, thank God, thank you, Jesus, for bringing this person into the situation. I'm not. I don't think I really get pressured like that.
That's good. Going back to school,
Yep.
you mentioned that your lecturers,
Yeah.
were very instrumental to
Yeah.
how you to your turning point,
Yeah.
and your big break,
Yeah.
right? Um, but before then, your 100 level and 200 level, you said it was pretty much
Let's get to.
creepy.
Yeah.
So, if you given the power, what would you change about your 100 and 200 level now? Not in terms of yourself, but in terms of the curriculum.
The curriculum, the school system.
Yeah.
Do you know what? I've actually been thinking about it. I feel like the things they should teach people in school are the things that they would use when they get to their job. So I was thinking of writing a book, right? Marketing from an intern's perspective.
Okay.
So I feel like the things they should teach you in school are the things that budgeting. For example, people in marketing, people that, they should teach you budgeting, presentation, structure, how to reach out to people, how to follow up with people. These are the things that, how to build a business case. These are the things that they should be teaching you in school. So I feel like if I first go back to change things, there are a lot of things that I wouldn't have. There are a lot of things, there are a lot of courses that I would scrap. Yeah. So it should basically be the things that you would be using in the industry. For I feel like, because I wanted to use people that are in accounting. How do they teach people that are studying accounting? I mean, it has to be things that they use in bank and finance things, financial.
I have no idea. I didn't study accounting, so I can't really say.
So I'm thinking that those guys, mathematics is mathematics now.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I'm thinking that the way they teach those people, that they're the things that you use when you get to the bank or when you're auditing or whatever. That's the same way they should teach people in other departments. So no story. What am I going to use when I get to my industry? For people who want to go to the FMCG industry, for people who want to go to the creative industry, what are the things that they are going to be doing? What are the things that they would need? Those are the things you should teach them. No story. No unnecessary things.
So basically, more theoretical approach.
Yeah.
I feel like we've been shouting that school should be more theoretical. School should be more theoretical.
Theoretical, practical.
Very practical.
Yeah.
Sorry, practical. Yeah. So I think that has been the plight.
Yeah.
And request from everybody to say, oh, please let school be more practical.
Yeah.
Let's learn practical skills.
Yeah.
But
I agree.
I mean, it's quite difficult to do that because so whether you're in Bowen, Caleb, Covenant, we all learn the same thing.
Yeah.
Because
yes,
it's a standard curriculum that must be followed. And I think because of that, I mean, schools have flexibility in, I want to say, in how it is taught.
Yeah.
Or ultimately, you still have to follow.
The lecturer also is a very important factor to how that I mentioned earlier that when Mr. Tom is teaching us PR, he uses his experience in the industry, or your lecturer's personality, your lecturer's experience also has a lot to do with how they teach you. There are some lecturers that they will just come to class and read it out to you. How do you want to learn there?
True.
So these are the things. It's not even only about the curriculum. It's also about the lecturer. These are the things that we need to sort of.
I think that's largely because the people lecturing were only, like, for example, imagine someone goes to College of Education, learns to become a teacher, and then does master's, PhD, and all that, and then starts teaching.
And they don't have any experience.
And they don't have the actual experience in the industry.
That should change actually. Because I wanted to say that I feel like if before they should give you an opportunity to lecture in, but then I don't know so much about the system, so I can't say. I'm just saying from like an outsider's perspective now. Yeah. So I feel like before they can give you an opportunity to lecture in a particular department, you should have experience. You should have worked there. How would you know that it works? Because there are a lot of theoretical things that it doesn't work. It doesn't. So it should be that you have experience in the industry before. So you have 5-10 years of experience. Then you're saying that I want to give back to my. Not even give back what. And now let me go and lecture. Let me go and lecture in university.
So what you're saying is, most professionals should consider lecturing after their careers.
Yes. But the thing is, I don't know if they pay much compared to if you're doing a proper. I don't know. But yes, I feel like a lot of professionals should consider going back to lecture, give back to. It's a way to make money and also give back to the younger ones that come in. That's something I want to do.
That's something you intend to do. Well, that's nice. That's nice.
I have to go back to Bowen.
You want to teach in Bowen?
Yes. I want to go back to
That's very good.
I want to.
I mean, I want to do a couple of things in Bowen. Teaching, no.
No, I won't.
But I do feel at some point I might teach. Maybe not for a very long time. Maybe just for like 2-3 years. I don't know where yet. I just feel like it's one of those things you could just experience.
Yeah.
I think it would be good.
I want to go back to Bowen University because of the way Dr. Ife Christie showed me love. It was like Dr. Ife Christie wasn't a lecturer. She was a big sister, like an auntie. Mr. Tomitu was like an uncle to me. Dr. Ogudoyin was a mother to people in the department. So I want to give back to, I want to give that kind of love and experience to students. I don't want students to be scared of me, or students to say that if you that man's class, if that man is your project supervisor,
it's finished.
You are done. I don't want that. I want students to be able to say that my 400 level was chilled because this person was my project supervisor. I want to give that experience back to people.
Yeah, sometimes I think about how, if I was to be a lecturer, what I would do differently. I was thinking of the kind of assignments I would give.
Yeah.
I mean, they're not. It's not like it might be harsh. It might be, in quotes, a difficult assignment.
Yeah.
But it's not to test your retentive memory skills. It will be actually to test your practical skills. And I can remember in our 300 level, I think it was 300 level. Yes, we had a visiting lecturer from UI, Professor Onifade, and he taught us. What did he teach us? He taught us, I think, OS, operating systems.
Okay.
And till date, that remains one of my best classes.
You've had,
right? Because Professor Onifade comes to class with like 200 slides. And first of all, it's a 3-unit course, so he had 3 hours.
Okay.
1 hour and 2 hours. So the first 1 hour, he tells us, use it to read whatever you want to read. So he only comes for the 2-hour class. And the 2-hour class, he spends the first 30 minutes asking, how's your week? What did you learn? Those vibes. And then he has 1 hour, 30 minutes. And then he finishes 200 and something slides in 1 hour, 30 minutes. And I learned so much from that class. I'm like, how?
Exactly.
How are you doing this?
Yeah.
And then he gave us a test. One of the tests I can never forget. He gave us a test. I can't really remember exactly what the test was. But he gave us a test. And then after the test, we all submitted.
Yeah. And
a lot of us had different answers. We all had different answers.
And it's not like a failing or passing kind of thing.
Well, according to him, there's no direct answer to the question. Yeah, he has his answer, but he wants to hear your answer. And so his way of teaching and the way he mapped those scripts, right, was how did you explain what you were saying? What your answer. So I think the test was around concurrency and exclusivity. Yeah, I think concurrency and exclusivity. So basically, in a computer system, things are working all at the same time. But in reality, only one thing is happening at a time. No two things are working at the same time. But because your computer is doing it so fast, it appears that everything is happening at the same time. So it was just a question of, okay, this is Microsoft Word is running, you turn on PowerPoint, on your log, on your activity log, what's changing? Like, that's sort of the question, what's changing? And so I answered, everybody answered, and then he came to class, and then it was like, okay, some of you, I know you just copied the next person, all of you. Of course, if you're in that group, here's your script back, people all failed. I don't know how we identified those people. And then it was like, okay, some of you said this will happen, this will happen. I read some of the reasons. For those who scored low, I felt your reasons were not strong enough. For those who scored high, I felt your reasons were good enough, even though that is not my answer. And I think that is how
we should have more people like that. Yeah, indeed.
We shouldn't. I mean, it might not work for every profession. For example, for law, you might want to.
Your answer is your answer.
Your answer is your answer. Even though, in my opinion, in reality, lawyers actually, it's not what is how you can present what is. It's how you can tell your own truth. So somehow, we can still apply that mode of teaching to people. And that's why you test people's knowledge. That's why you see people who finish with first class and then you actually now put them to the test, and then they don't know
because they crammed.
They don't know anything. Yeah, it was just cram and pour. As how do you say cram la pour?
Yeah.
I say I should just shaded you, Jesus.
You finished the first class.
Yeah, I finished the first class.
That cram, sha.
Well, did I cram?
Maybe
I
not
couldn't
you,
cram.
but first class people can cram.
I couldn't cram. So what I did, I
Did you
don't know
finish the first
how.
class?
I don't know how. So then our lecturers would give us like say, you know how lecturers just bombard you with slides.
Yeah.
So I had this friend, Timmy.
Okay.
Timmy, see, I want to say that I finished with the first class because of God, yes, but because of Timmy. So Timmy would give us. So Timmy, yeah, very studious person. He would lecture us 100 slides. Let's say the lecturer gives us 100 slides of 100 pages. Timmy will read everything and summarize it into a booklet.
I have
So that
people like
booklet
that. I have
is
people
what
like
I would
that.
take
You read.
and read. Now
Yeah.
I don't like reading.
Did
I
Timmy
can't.
finish the first class?
Yeah, he did. He finished as the best graduating student in the department and the entire college.
That's
Yeah, I
nice.
finished as the second best in the department and college.
Give it up, give it up.
I say I don't want to pass my orga. You know.
Makes
So
sense.
Timmy would bring that jotter.
Yeah.
So let's say Timmy has summarized all those PDFs into like 10 pages. I would now take those 10 pages,
And then
summarize it into 3 or 5.
Oh,
And that's what me
nice.
I would read.
That makes sense.
I want to say I finished with my strategy in quote. Let me say my strategy
Yeah.
finishing with first class was predict what was going to come out.
Yeah. So
Predict
you don't read everything.
what lecture. Yeah. So I could. That's why I allowed Timmy do his thing.
Okay.
You know, predict what each lecturer would like. So I had certain lecturers that you had to give them word for word.
Yes.
And most of those lecturers, I like I said, I can't
Had
give
a
things
problem
back.
with that, yeah.
Exactly. So I would always have issues with those lecturers. You know, I'll barely scale through. But then the lecturers that allowed you be free.
Yeah.
I remember one of
The
our lecturers,
best.
Dr. Lauren Femi, you know, she doesn't like it when you give her back notes. And she had very funny questions. She could just ask you, what is a computer? 10 marks. Ha! I never knew I could explain what a computer was in a page and a half.
Yeah.
You just have to keep writing.
Yeah.
Because I'm like 10 marks for such a simple question.
You can't just say
Such a simple
computer
question.
is this
Exactly.
and finish. I didn't understand that. My first and second year, I didn't understand that. So they'll ask me what is mass communication. I'll just say, mass communication is these 3 lines.
Yeah.
But it was when I got to 300 level that I understood that they, like for example, Mr. Tommy wants you to give him first what he gave you in class. So we'll give you 2 definitions: what he gave you in class and what you read, and then what is your own definition.
Yeah.
So by the time you write that, you already have 1 page for what is public relations. Yeah. So
I made it my own thing to kind of always just put down my mind.
Yeah.
Like that's what I always just ended up doing.
Give
put down my own mind.
illustrations.
Give as many examples as possible.
Yeah.
To kind of just show that you understood this
What
thing.
you really read.
So I never really
like you
had
cram.
to cram anything.
But you understood what
because
you were really...
in 100 level,
Yeah.
I'm not gonna lie, in 100 level I did cram. In 100, I can never forget.
Of course,
I can never forget this a particular exam. If you look at the notes and you look at my book, so then I had this. I wouldn't call it photographic memory, but I could literally be in the exam hall and I'm flipping through
your notes,
my
textbook.
my jotter.
Yeah.
I'm flipping through my jotter and I'm just writing out. And you know when? And the problem with that is that it gets to a particular page of the jotter. It's not blank. And you're like, hey, what's going on? So that's kind of what I started doing. And I think if schools, lecturers can adopt that means and understand that, look, it's not... Sure, there are certain definitions that must be verbatim.
Verbatim, yeah.
You know? But if a student paraphrases that properly and gives an example to show that I really understand what I'm saying. However, I cannot say it the way
this person
is.
I mean, it's so, the person that gave that definition, the person has a brain and used his brain to say that I think, you know what, this is
how it should be.
Now, if a student is saying that I hear you, but I also think this is how it should be, I feel like if it makes sense, you should give that student a chance. If I'm a lecturer, the thing that I would do differently is teach my students with movies. And because of my industry.
Yeah.
So we have movies where there are PR strategies, there are marketing strategies. Watch those movies and tell me what would you do differently in this crisis? What would you have done as a
What do you do
PR
differently?
person? I
Yeah.
feel like that's how I would teach, as if I ever
And
get
that's
when I get a lecture.
and that's really good. So back to Professor Onifade, I remember
Mm-hmm.
his exam. His exam were all real life scenarios.
Mm.
Oh, if this oh my god, I just remembered one question in his
Okay.
exam. He said, in a very busy road,
Yeah.
a chicken, a cow,
Mm.
and something wants to cross the road. Using
Mm.
the principles of I think concurrency or
Yeah.
whatever, explain what would happen
Mm.
if the chicken tries to cross the road. Like, what's that?
You
But
have to
then,
use your
but
brain
then,
then.
if you don't understand
Mm-hmm.
concurrency and
You
exclusivity,
can't answer the
you will
question.
never be able to understand
Yeah.
what would happen.
Mm.
And I can't really remember all these things now, but
Yeah.
that's not the exact question, but that's kind of like what the
Yeah.
question was, and because of that, I looked at that question and I remember just going, hard Professor Onifadi now for you. And then I just wrote down how I would
Mm.
naturally
Mm.
answer that question.
Simple.
Simple. He didn't have to come and say,
What is
what is this? If this.
mention?
Yes. Give students real life
Yeah,
scenarios.
scenarios that they
Let,
will remember all through. You didn't forget now because of how that question was. If you had said what is concurrency, mention 3 examples of how it doesn't stand out. So yeah,
all right,
we will do better in our own time.
yeah, we will. We will.
Yeah.
This is a call for professionals,
Yeah.
right? If you are, I know a lot of people don't want to study. Sorry, they don't want to lecture,
Yeah.
right? Because they feel it's stressful. They feel like the universities will not pay as much. But if you, for example, work remotely and you can afford the time to lecture in a university part time, please do give back to the younger ones, because I feel like we barely made it. We barely scaled through, right? And we look at a lot of things going on, and we just want something where we should be able to give back,
Yeah.
particularly to your alma mater. I think, and that's one thing I appreciate about Covenant University. Their alumni network is really strong. And I was having a conversation with an ex-Covenant student who is also going to be on the podcast,
Okay.
right? And sorry, who was on the podcast?
Okay.
And he said that, and I asked him one day, and I was like, how come? Because there are certain companies that hire like a large percentage of their employees are from Covenant,
Permanent. Yeah.
and I'm like, how do you guys do it? And then he said, because we all went to Covenant, we understand the struggles of each other,
Yeah.
and so because of that, there's this sense of responsibility to help each other out, but in Bowen, I've kind of figured out that once people go to Bowen, they are so scared that they don't want to do anything.
It's like I would never.
And will never go back.
Yeah.
I'm like,
Yeah.
and they don't even want to know
Yeah.
what the next set is doing,
Going
how they are
Just
doing
let
it.
me leave this place and you would
You know.
never find me.
So and that's different, because he
Yeah.
explained that because they understand that they all went through this, they know what those guys still in the school are suffering, and that's why they always kind of like
That's so
give
nice.
a helping hand. And
That's
I think
so
that's something
true.
that Bowen University needs to adopt. Although first things first, one, the university, because I know quite a number of ex-Bowenites,
Yeah.
right, who came back to the university and the university shut them away, like told them no, they were not going to approve any of their programs or whatever. So we need to get to that point where first, so two things. One, the university
Yeah.
opening its arms to
People that are coming
the
back
alumni
to
who want to
give
come back and
back
actually
to-
help
yeah.
out. And then two, the alumni themselves, the mindsets.
Yeah.
We need to change our mindset and actually help.
Yeah.
I've been thinking, personally, like, oh, what can we do in Bowen University? I don't like the fact that when you think of entrepreneurs in private schools, what comes to mind is Babcock, what comes to mind is Covenant. I know a few entrepreneurs from Bowen University who are doing very well, but they're very low key, right? And I'm like, oh, we need to do something to kind of like give back.
To the
Right.
because those are the things on my mind. So before I go back to lecture or anything like that, we have to find a way to, all those TEDx,
Yeah.
all those sisters conference, brothers conference. We have to find a way to make it interesting, because the people who actually need those programs don't attend.
True.
Because I needed those programs, I would not attend, because I'm like, what are they doing there? What are they? Someone is about to come and give me motivational speech again. But we need to find a way to just make it interesting for people so if when sorry you're successful, but when you have a bigger name and a bigger platform and they are like, the owner of this is coming, they should be interested to come. So we have to make sure that we get to that position where they hear our names, that this person is coming to Bowen University, whatever it is that they are, whatever it is that they're doing at that time, they would want to come. So yeah,
That's
I
true.
agree.
I feel like we've digressed a lot.
I mean,
Yeah, well, so let's come back.
Yeah.
Right. Back to your content creating.
yep.
Right. What inspires you? So, as a creative, I'm very sure you experience creative block.
Yeah.
So, how do you deal with that?
So that I said I create lifestyle content, right? But it's my life. So the things that are going on in my life presently are the things that I always talk about. So the things that inspire me are the experiences that I'm having in my life. When I experience creative blocks, I don't force it. That's when you see me that I don't post for a month. I don't post for like whatever. So I just leave it. I don't force it. If I have creative block, I will just drop my camera and go and sleep. There's no pressure.
There's no pressure to,
Yeah.
I must
Yeah.
post.
Yeah.
And I tried to do a bit of content creating at some point. And I made a post and I said that if I don't continue doing content creation, it will be because it has become work, and not a hobby.
It's something that you enjoy.
Because I don't really have hobbies, although which is something I'm trying to learn. I'm trying to get into doing more stuff. So I write scripts. I'm trying to like properly now learn.
Okay.
Take some time off. Stop being a workaholic.
Yeah, and just
and
have
actually
fun.
try to do other things,
Yeah.
experience other things, and dealing. And as I'm a designer professionally, and so dealing with designer block is
Real.
real.
It is.
It's real.
I was working with a graphic designer
Yeah.
one time, and like anytime you give him your content calendar or anything, he'll tell you that you can't force creativity. So if you can't tell him that I need this thing, I give it to me by 1:00. If he doesn't have it, he doesn't have it. So I can relate to having designer blocks.
Okay. So when did you? What was your? So you have 22K followers now.
Yeah.
What was your? At what moment did you peak?
July 2020, last year.
Yeah.
So I just got back from the hospital. I did a surgery and I just made a video, praise is back. That sentence had been ringing in my head since I was in the hospital. So I just made that video. But it was like, when they did the surgery for me, it was like the doctors opened a part of my brain and just did a little bit of, So I used to use my phone to shoot before, but it wasn't as clear as it was in that video.
Yeah.
It was just like the heavens just whispered into my brain, and the video was super crispy. It was good, and it was just everywhere. Like, it was everywhere. And then consistency, yeah, that was there, because I was posting back to back. I was at home. I wasn't doing anything. I was just trying to recover. So that was when I moved from 3K to I would have 1,000 followers in one day. Crazy. It was like before I would have 7,000 followers. Before I wake up, it's already 8K, it's 8.5. So that was when.
And what was your reaction for all this?
I was just there, like, surprised, like, what's going on? And then Keegan did a video and then put my video in it, and that was helpful too. Selem King, all of them, they were sharing my video that time, so it was crazy. My reaction, I can't remember, but it was just there. But I was surprised. I was shocked. I don't know if was I surprised, but it was just there. I can't remember. I don't know.
Would you say you tried to follow the trend?
Never. I never. For my personal content, I don't. And I posted a content yesterday or something like that, and I was like, there's this particular thing that content creators do now, where they tell you that how I made my first million.
Yeah.
And then they say read caption, and I'm like, so it was after I dropped that video that people started telling me that it's a strategy for engagement, because when people are reading that caption, your video keeps playing, then Instagram thinks that people really like that video, and that's why they keep rewatching it and then they keep sharing it to other people. I don't care. I don't know. I don't follow trends. You will see me dancing, following a popular sound. You will not.
Why? I would like to see
You
you do
won't
TikTok.
catch you will not catch me there doing it. I mean, for now, I can't talk about the future, but yeah, I'm not a person to follow trends.
Yeah.
I'm not.
So what would you tell people who want to start making content?
Set your camera and start, please. Don't stress me.
Just
Sorry.
put in the camera.
Like, if you have something to say, just say. Do you know when people say that? I don't know how I want to create content. I don't know how to start or what to say. If you don't know what to say, then maybe you shouldn't want to create content. Because what do you want? How I don't know. How do you feel like creating content, but you don't know what to say? Then what are you? What's the? I don't know if
Don't you think
get me.
that's like probably because of they look at yourself, they look at
Yeah.
Salem
And they're
and
like,
all
I
the
would
other
like to
big,
do
and they were
this.
like, these people have
So
gone
I would
foul.
like to draw, but I can't because I don't know how to do it. So I don't stress myself. So I feel like if you're looking at other people and that's why you want to do something, there's something in you too that you can do, and that's what you should be focusing. That's what you should be focusing on. So if you're a content creator and you want to start, you don't know how to start. Literally, just put your camera like this and turn on, like put your phone like this, turn on your camera and start. It's not that deep. You get better by the day. So it doesn't have to be perfect in the first. Your first try will probably be shitty, but try it.
Yeah, I mean, this is the first season of this episode. I hope it's not shitty. And I hope you've been enjoying so much all the episodes so far. Right? Yeah, we did put a lot of effort into it. And let me just say this now. I was going to say this in the next episode, but I think I can just say this now.
Okay.
This thing started as a joke. Myself and Emeka were just like, oh, okay, I'm coming to Nigeria for 3 weeks. Of course, I had reasons why I was coming, and then like, do I really just want to sit down at home all through? I thought we'll go out, spend money, this, that. I'm like, let's actually do something. So we're like, let's do a podcast. See,
and
we're both very funny people. Let's do a podcast. So and then we're joking about it. We had a list of names. We had like a really long list of names within our personal networks. Everyone coming on the show this first season, or everyone who has come on the show this first season, I know them personally, or someone on my team knows them personally, right? And so we just said, let's look within our network. Who can we bring, right? What's going to be our niche? And so we carved our niche, and we said, okay, who can we bring? And then we had the list, and up until like 2 weeks or 3 weeks before the trip was like it was close to my trip, we're still just joking about it. And then I just texted Ibuka Mike. I said, how far, brotherly? I'm coming to Nigeria in 3 weeks. I would like shoot podcast. You would join. And I was like, sure, why not? And I just texted Ibuka. I said, I don't know, babe. Can we say that on camera? Blip it out. I was like, I don't mess up.
Yeah.
Ibuka Mike said it's coming. So it was like, okay. Now we have one guest. So at all, we have to shoot one episode. And then I messaged yourself, a couple of other people, and people just started saying, oh yeah, sure, why not? Oh yeah, sure, why not? Oh yeah, sure. And we're like, okay, this thing is actually getting serious.
If you don't decide to start, you have to carry your hand so that so that God can carry you or people can carry you. If you don't decide to start, you just be there thinking, oh, I want to start. But if you start, you know that your first video is out of the way.
Yeah.
You do your second video and your third video and stuff like that. So you don't have to overthink it. You don't have to be scared of being stupid, because I know that that's something that is pulling people back. How will people see me if they see that I'm talking? What would they like?
Yeah.
Won't I look stupid? I also always feel stupid sometimes. In fact, most of the times when I'm watching my video, I'm like, what gave you this confidence, this girl? Like, why you?
Yeah.
I always feel stupid, but you can't let that pull you back.
True. And then for me, it wasn't even about looking stupid, right? It was more like, okay, to do this podcast, right? We drew up a budget.
Yeah.
I saw the budget. I laughed.
Yeah.
I laughed. I said, okay, these people want to wreck me, right? And then we just said, okay, let's do it. And then I was like, oh, how do I recoup this money back? How do we? And then I said, okay, well, there's YouTube ads. There's
Yeah.
maybe would eventually at some point when we get a large following get
Get sponsors and
sponsors and
stuff
things
like
like
that.
that. And I'm like, okay. And then I started watching, and then I watched some episodes of Mr. Beast.
Okay.
Particularly the episode he did with MKBHD, and they talked about their first
Video.
few videos, and then I watched another video, and one thing that was consistent with all of them was that most of them didn't make money in the first 2-3 years of
I tell
their
you.
content creating,
Yeah.
and they had very little following, and I think that was kind of just the mindset that just came with me, and I said, oh, okay, let me just have this mind that the guests I have are the only people that will watch the episode.
Yeah.
And if that's what happens,
It's fine.
that's fine.
Yeah.
But this is something I want to do, and this is something I'm going to do,
Yeah.
and I'm going to put it out
Yeah.
there
You have to
and
take
see
the
how.
first step. Yeah.
So that prompts me to my next question, right? The fact that I thought that, oh, okay, I would I was already thinking of the
Making the money
making the
back.
money back, recouping the money. So I want to ask you, have you started monetizing your brand?
Yes, I mean there's a couple here and there, nothing too serious, and it's not like it's not like I set out to monetize.
Yeah.
When I started doing this thing, I didn't even know that people would pay me, but then like people reach out and say, "Praise, we want you to make this video. We want you to do that." I also do social media for people. I do content creation for people. So yes, money is here and there. Yes, yes.
So
But I won't say that there's a particular strategy for
Yeah.
monetizing. People take classes on Instagram to say that strategy, make money in the next 5 weeks. I don't know about that strategy. I don't know. I just know that if you keep doing what you're doing, if you offer value, people would, give something in exchange for that value.
True.
But I don't know if there's a particular strategy because I did not set out to make money. I did not know that I was going to make money. I did not even know how much to charge. When like the first person reached out to me, I didn't know. I had to reach out to like the mentors that I told you about. I had to reach out to them to say that, hello, Luma, makes sense. So yeah, I don't know any strategy. I can't advise anybody that this is how you should do it, this is how you get money. I don't.
How do you balance your professional life, work life, professional and work life, with your personal life and then the social media life?
It's not easy. It's not easy. It's not easy at all. And here's something I've now decided to do. I don't have a professional life. I don't have a content. I just had one life. So if right now I have a project at work that is very demanding, I just focus on that. If I don't have a project that is demanding, then I focus on my content creation. When I was doing the 9 to 5 where I had to go to work, I dropped my ring light at work. So the day that I go to work early, I'll shoot content at work, and then I just leave my ring light there till I left. That was when I picked my ring light from them. So I started making content at home. So I don't have a work life. I don't have a content creation. I just have a life. Praise is my life. So I just try to juggle them. If I have so much to do at work, then I'm focusing on that. If I feel like I have content to create, I'll create that. It's not easy, but we just try. Nothing is easy.
Yeah. And what are some challenges that you faced so far?
As
Generally, as a content creator,
creative blocks, like we said
and
earlier.
as a PR person,
Yeah, so PR. It's normal. It's the normal thing that we face in life as people. But for content creation, creative blocks, and I don't see that as a challenge. I just see it as my brain telling me that I need to rest, or that just sit your ass down. Sorry, bleep it out. So just sit down and rest. As a content creator, I don't see anything as a challenge. It's just how I am. It's just the normal things that you face in life. I work too. I don't even want to work if I have to. I don't want to have to work. But the fact that I have to work is a challenge. But I don't see anything as a challenge. I just feel like it's normal. Those are normal things that you have to face.
I think so far in this conversation, one thing I've really picked up from you is you have the right mindset.
I do.
I think you're in a strong place mentally, which is something that a lot of people struggle with. Myself personally, Well, and that's good. That's good. How can you tell us how you get to that point? I know you already mentioned you have people who you speak to,
Yeah.
but any other thing?
That's the most important thing, that you have people that are so, they are also so strong in their place that they are able to pour into you, and you need the Holy Spirit. I, you need you need the Holy Spirit. There's no how you want to do it. When you understand, when you have a beautiful relationship with God and you understand the nature of God, then it's easy to understand your nature. It's easy to understand you as a person. So I know for a fact that God will not throw a challenge my way or just give me hardship. So when I'm going through things that other people see as a challenge, I just see it as normal things that will happen to me in life. And I think something else that's happening to people in this generation is that we just like to see everything as a challenge. We just like to see everything as it's a struggle. We just like to complain about everything. But these are the things that we need to go through. It's just life.
Yeah.
It's just normal. So the two things that have helped me, that has helped me to be where I am today. Number one, the relationship that I have with people that are strong, that are able to pour into me, and then my relationship with God.
Yeah, that's solid.
Yeah.
Solid. What are your future aspirations?
What am I what?
Future aspirations, like
Future.
for your content and
You know, I
for your
told you that I don't
profession.
even know what I'll do December. I don't know. I don't know. I honestly do not know. I just know that I don't know. I just know that there's
You
some
can do
people
Christmas
that
jamboree with praise.
I just know that
Praise with praise.
I just know that there are some people that I see the things that they do. For example, when Salem Kings travel to maybe South Africa for something with Spotify, I like it and I'm like, I would like to do that someday. When Blessing Aben got that Forbes 30 under 30, I like it and I would like to do that someday. When people do these beautiful things and I see, I know that, oh, if this thing happens to me, it will make me happy. But I don't have any future aspiration. I don't know. I don't like to think about it. I don't like to bother myself about that. I know that God has a future for me. I know that God has great plans for me, and I just trust him. I don't stress it.
So on a final note,
Yep.
we already gave advice to people on
Yeah.
how they should create content and
Yeah.
well generally what's your message generally to people who want to start, people who
Yeah.
have already started,
Mm-hmm.
like myself,
Mm.
right?
Yeah.
And people who feel like they're going through a lot of struggles. What's your message to them?
The first thing would be you need God, right? That's that's the first thing. You need God, you need the Holy Spirit. You need to take your relationship with God very seriously. That's the first thing. And that's you need to be prayerful, because from the place of prayer is where you get instructions. It's where God will tell you that this is the in fact, I even pray for my content that God should give me content ideas that will, you know, that will put me in a position for global clients and stuff like that. So you need God. You need to be prayerful, because like I said, in the place of prayer is where you receive instructions on what to do. You also need to just do it, to be very honest. Just do it. Like you said, it started as a joke and now you're here. So just do it. You don't have to, it doesn't have to make sense.
Yeah.
It doesn't have to make sense at the beginning. If you feel like I want to do this, just do it. And even if you're struggling, even if it just continue to do it. Just yeah.
Oh, that's very good.
Because
Yeah.
I have 22K followers right now. It's still sometimes I still feel like why am I doing this? I don't want to do this, but I still try to show up. So just do it. Just keep on keeping on. If you don't do what you want to do, will you just sit down and be doing
True.
nothing? Because you have to do something. And that's when people ask me what's my inspiration, what's my motivation. I have to work, I have to eat, I have to make money. What else is the inspiration that I'm looking for? So just do it.
All right. Thank you so much. All right. So now we're moving to another section.
Okay. Let's go.
Right. 5 questions, and that's all.
Okay.
So the first one is, what's your favorite sport? Do you like that you like to watch or that you follow? And what sport do you play?
Nothing.
You don't watch any sport. You don't play
Nothing.
any sport. So what do you do in your free time apart from creating content?
My phone.
What do you do on your phone?
Yeah, I just watch.
Watch other people's content.
Yeah, that's what I do.
What's your worst house chore?
My what?
Your worst house chore?
Cooking.
Cooking. Why you don't like cooking? Why don't you like cooking?
I'm stressful.
Yeah, I hate cooking,
I don't
and
like cooking.
I want to blame Bowen
Yeah.
because before Bowen, I used to cook. I used to enjoy cooking, but when you are in school and
Yeah.
for months,
Nothing.
like I remember in final year, we're in school for almost 8 months.
Yeah.
So you go 8 months without cooking.
I
It's
don't think
very
my own is
hard.
boring. I just don't like to cook because it never turns out good. I don't know. I know my mom's a great cook. My sister is a great cook. But for me, I don't know.
And somewhat, in my opinion, a lot of effort, little reward because you literally spend
Yeah.
hours cooking
So
and then you eat
it's
in like
just
15
like,
minutes.
yeah.
And sometimes I think, especially noodles, I think like that noodles that you cook in a rush that you don't add
Yeah.
carrots, you don't add anything, you just
Nothing.
put it, just maybe add butter or stew or something.
Yeah.
Boom. I think those are some of like the best.
Yes. I'm not like, it doesn't stress me. So yes, I cook that more. But other kind of food, I don't like to cook at all. I don't like it.
So earlier you mentioned that people do content on how they made their first million and stuff. How did you make
Yeah.
your first million?
I might have saved my first million,
Okay.
but like 1 million from a job, no.
Well, do you think it's easier to make 1 million or save 1 million?
Make 1 million. Of course, I can make 1 million. Make
Yeah.
1 million. It's
Okay.
easier to make.
I get married soon.
I don't know. I don't know yet. It depends. I'd love to get
You like
married
to?
soon.
Okay.
Yes, I'd love to, but I don't know yet. Let's see.
Do you intend to do a master's or further your education?
Of course. Of course, I will. Before I get married,
No, no, no. Like just
generally,
generally,
of
yeah.
course, I'll do
Generally.
masters and then I don't know where I'll go from there. But
Okay,
I'll
no,
get
but
my
considering
MBA.
you also want to teach, you will be
Yeah.
something like a prerequisite. Actually, it's a master's.
Yeah,
Will
yeah.
be the
I
I
still
think
want to
least
read. I want
qualification
to prove to myself that
that you
yes,
can actually finish
yeah,
with a
yes.
good grade. What's your favorite quote?
Oh, just do it.
Just do it, Nike.
Yes, don't stress me. Just do it. That's it. Don't stress me. Just do it.
So we've not seen a lot of collaborations from you yet, right? Should we expect something like that in future? And who would you like to collaborate with?
Collaboration. I mean, I would get there.
Yeah.
I would get there. I don't have someone in mind now. I don't have someone in mind now, but I would collaborate. It's not something it doesn't come easy to me but I will collaborate, but I don't have any name in mind. Of course, my guys in the industry, like
Yeah.
there's Salem King, there's Lumina, we have those people.
Yeah.
I would like to collaborate with them, but it's not something that I hold dearly to my heart.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. And finally, if you could go back to Bowen, would you change your grade? If you could,
No.
you wouldn't.
Yes.
Those experience. Why? Why wouldn't you do that?
Because I feel like God ripped me of that so that I can share this experience with people.
True.
Because then, like someone has told me before that you're a first class student. The way you do is easy to know. But then I'm able to say that no, I'm not a first class student. I'm able to say that I'm successful even with bad grades.
Yeah.
And I want to be able to pass that message across to people that no matter how shitty your grade is, you're still able to do something with your life. So I think I would rather keep this narrative than finish with a first class, and I'm telling people that even without a first class you can do great. It won't make sense. It won't be sweet.
But I found myself in a very precarious position.
Yeah.
Because I like to motivate people.
Yeah.
Right. And people find it easy telling me their problems, and I talk to them and stuff. And one of the things people would always tell me back in Bowen was, "Oh, Augustine, I'm not doing well in school. I'm not. My grades are really bad.
Yeah.
I try my best, but somehow not being
In that, yeah.
Like I've never been in that
Yeah.
spot. I mean, I've had days. You know,
Yeah.
I remember one particular exam. It was Python. I called my mom. I said, Mama, please save 70K because that was the price of summer. I said, save 70K because this exam is like I'm coming for summer.
Yeah.
She prayed. Of course, my mother,
Of
wonderful
course.
woman, she prayed for me. I came out from the exam. I said, Mama, you realize that your prayer, you know, to work.
Just save the money.
Just save the money just in case. You know. I had to be in that course still.
Yeah.
I know it's largely my mother's prayers, right? But yeah, so I was never really in that show, and I felt like I couldn't properly
talk to them.
Talk to people. Yeah, about like this is what
it'll be like it's easy for you to say now because it's like a rich person telling you that money can't solve your problem. Money can't give you happiness. It's easy for you to say because you have money.
True.
So I would rather keep this narrative.
That's really good. That's actually really good. All right, and now we're moving to the last section of the podcast,
Okay.
which is the game.
Okay.
And so you're going to do something for us, something you've already said you don't like to do.
What's that?
So we're going to give you a script, a very short script.
Voiceover.
Yes.
Oh,
We're going
no.
to do a voiceover for us.
See, no, I like my talking voice. I like my singing voice. My voiceover
Do you
voice.
sing?
Yes, I do.
You do sing.
Yeah.
So would you prefer to sing for us
No,
instead?
let me do the
So-
voiceover. Let me do the voiceover.
All right. So
Oh, that big go.
there are two scripts.
Okay.
There are two scripts. A or B.
Okay.
So you decide.
Okay.
Yeah. So A or B.
Ah. B.
B. Okay. So I'm going to get that ready for
So
you.
scared for my life. Yeah, let me try. Should I start?
Everybody, praise Adio.
Ah. Oh my God. Yeah, let me. 1, 2, go. Get ready to elevate your style game. Discover the latest fashion trends Get ready to elevate your style game. Discover the latest fashion trends that define you. Our clothing brand is not just about clothing, it's about self-expression. From casual to chic, we've got you covered. Unleash your inner fashionista and step into a world of endless possibilities. Be bold, be you, with working fashion. Thank you. Look what you made me do. No wala.
All right. Thank you so much, Praise, for being on the podcast. We're looking forward to more from you. Yeah, we're looking forward to more collaborations. You should start collaborating more. But I mean, you want to do your thing, and I think that's what makes you unique. You just being you. And personally, I've learned that you cannot underscore the importance of having a good mindset. And I think that's something everyone needs to have. So again, thank you so much for coming.
Thank you, bye.
All right, and that's Walking Like I Talk It. That's such a big smile. All right.
Hi guys, it's Praise here. I just want to tell you to like, subscribe, share, and watch the previous episodes. It's been amazing.